Welcome to the 290 Mo podcast. Again, I appreciate your time. If you could, introduce yourself for my viewers and listeners.
How y'all doing, everybody? My name is T. I'm a host at Walla Cab. I'm an A&R at Walla Records. I'm a landlord. I also got a 9 to 5. I'm an actress, my bad. Other than that, I ain't really got nothing else going on.
Okay, so before we get into all that, I just want to start at the top, get to know you, you know what I'm saying, see what it was like for you growing up. So if you could, where you from, where you grew up?
Well, see, I grew up in a lot of different places. First off, I was in Chicago when I was younger. Then I moved to Bellwood for maybe 3 to 7. And then I was out in Downers Grove from 7 to 18. And then from 18 all the way to now, I've been in the Austin area.
Okay. So growing up, what was your childhood like? What was your aspirations? You want to be like a doctor, lawyer, teacher? What was you doing as a shorty, and what was you hoping for the future at that time?
See, growing up, I had 2 different aspirations. When I was little, and I was all about ball. Like I played ball. I'm talking about, boy, I had scholarships and everything. I slept with my ball. I took a shower. You couldn't tell me. Boy, I thought
ball is life.
Man, we went undefeated. Ball was, but when I turned 15, 16, you get into different shit, and shit start happening. You end up getting hurt, and you make a lot of excuses, and you fall out of that shit. So then after that, believe it or not, I went to school for criminal justice. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to be a parole officer, and then I wanted to be a police officer. That's what I wanted to do, and I actually went to school for it and followed my dream. I was a correctional officer in the men's prison for 5 years, and then I was a federal officer at the airport, certified.
You was a CO?
Yeah.
You was CO?
Yeah.
At what prison?
At Sheridan.
Okay. And what was that experience like? Because I watch a lot of documentaries like Lock Up Raw and all that shit. It wasn't
sweet.
Like that.
It was it wasn't a max, but it was right up under a max. Mm-hmm. But I was at the drug rehab. I had more problems with my coworkers than the actual inmates.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Do you think that was because of your roots? Maybe it was a lot of people in there that you was able to relate to just from being from Bellwood in Chicago, or? Well,
no. See, when I went in there, I was still fresh out of college, and I had graduated. Well, I was fresh into college. I had graduated high school early, so I'm 18, 19 in there. These people 43, 44. I pull them all on the line, and I tell them hey, I don't want no smoke. Y'all ain't gonna disrespect me. I ain't gonna disrespect y'all. But that's just what it is. Y'all see a white shirt, get it together. Let's do that. And they respected me for that. They was I didn't talk to them down. I didn't. A lot of people was doing that. How can you politically say this? It was more African Americans in there, mm-hmm. Inmates,
right,
and myself, and versus the other way. So right. it definitely was a lot of tension, and I felt it a lot. My own coworker broke my arm.
What?
Yeah.
What the? How the?
Yeah, I can't.
Put you
it was paperwork.
Move or something?
It was paperwork done on that, so I can't really get into all that. But yeah, my own coworker broke my arm.
We want to turn that to a short film or a skit or something, man.
Let's do it. We might have to do that, but yeah.
That sounds crazy. I love to hear the background, because that's something
that you
attention. That's what I want to ask you. How's your family and your close friends feel about you working inside a prison? Were they concerned about your safety or happy?
Well, my mom and my dad, of course, they was concerned, but they know once I go for something, ain't no stopping me. I'm going for it. If I was gonna be on the police force, I wasn't sitting behind no desk. I need to be in the action. If I'm going for something, I need to go. What's the point of holding back? If you're going for something, you better go all out, because shit, why not?
And you said you did the state and the federal?
Yeah, I did the state. Well, I didn't do a federal prison. Okay. I was the TSA at the airport, searching everybody and shit.
Yeah.
But I had to go to the state academy in Springfield, Illinois.
Yeah.
And then I had to go to the federal academy out in Atlanta.
Yeah. One of my baby mothers was TSA at O'Hare. She had to go to Atlanta.
That's why I was there.
Oh man, that's what's up. I probably was in the same class. I know they had parties and shit one of them days and shit. So
boy, it'd be hard out there.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. Just when I thought we had a lot to talk about, you add more on to it. You got a lot going on, so
Hey, man.
so let me try to backtrack a little bit.
You ain't gonna never ever find me where you left me at. I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, that's a great mindset to have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, okay, so when you doing the was the correction career over with after the incident when you broke your arm, or did you continue?
Well, after I broke my arm, I had the opportunity to go back, but they wouldn't let me transfer, so I had to put papers on them, you know, and end up doing that, and I ended up winning. And then after that, we decided to go our separate ways, meaning you can't talk bad on me. Like if I wanted to go back right now, I don't have no record, no. I can go back, but I found for real, when I was in there, I started feeling like an inmate, like. You gotta get your food checked and shit. You gotta move when they move. You gotta eat how they eat and how fast, because you really watching them and you moving how they move. And then on top of that, if you got them treating you a certain way. Now I'm not saying it's like this at this is my experience. So I'm not saying everybody went through this, but I started feeling in prison and shit, and I realized I wanted to help people, but not that way. So that's what made me go try TSA, and then I got into that, and I'm like, well, I love working with the crowd, but this still ain't what I wanted. Mind you, before I went, when I was in the correction, I wanted to do parole, and they was like, you know how long it take to be a parole officer?
You gotta go all the way to the top.
You gotta damn near be there 10, 15 years in corrections before, and I wasn't finna be in, I wasn't finna be in prison. You can't take your phone in there. You can't, not saying like phone is life, but you in there all day. You can't reach nobody.
Right,
If you wanna, you gotta call the warden and ask permission to call your family. It gotta be an emergency. No.
Right. Okay, and before we leave from the working, what was it about TSA that made you realize that wasn't for you either?
I ain't gonna lie, it's not that TSA, it wasn't for me. It was for me, but the money wasn't.